Do you know what your boy FJ is really good at besides wearing the same shirt in every video? Besides being really good at looking like a redneck who's ready to go out to the local cow milking contest? Besides that, your boy FJ is very talented at saying things that to the untrained brain may seem contradictory. A few days ago, I released a video about the Beatles, about the difference between intuition and sensing, illustrated by John Lennon and Paul McCartney. Of course, just a couple days before, I had released a video called Mistypology that a lot of you made fun of me for titling it that, saying, "Oh, what does that mean? Is that making typos on a keyboard? Oh, is it someone named Misty apologizing?" No, you know what it meant. Don't act like you didn't. Don't act smart. You knew what I meant. In that video, I said, don't trust intuitive types like me. Really don't trust anybody to type your personality in the Myers-Briggs system. Today, what I want to talk about is typing celebrities in Myers-Briggs. Why do we do it? And why it's difficult, or perhaps even impossible. Typing celebrities is something that lots of people like to do, and all the Myers-Briggs websites like to point out all the different celebrities that have different types. Of course, it gets a little questionable when you look at two different sites and they, type the same person two different ways, and you start to be like, whoa, who am I supposed to believe here? Perhaps nobody. In that Beatles video, some commenters in that video were like, why are we trying to fit these celebrities into this box? Why do we care so much? Well, that's a good question. First of all, it's very difficult to type celebrities because we don't know them. We really think we know them, though. I mean, even though we intellectually know we don't know Paul McCartney, we feel like we do. We feel like we know them, man. Of course, the thing is, even with someone like Paul McCartney, who's been in the public eye for 50 years, who has tons of interviews and we know a lot about him, we really don't know him. But we don't know the real, true him alone in a room and he knows you and he's talking to you. We don't know that. We know an image. Of course, there's that one Beatles press conference, I think it was in LA, where they asked the Beatles about their image. And George says, only you can tell us that. Only you can... Well, only you can tell us that, sir. That's a bad... Only you can tell us that. Should I give up trying to do this accent? Wait, I thought the trip would do him good. And Paul says, we know our image, and it's not anything like the image that you all have. I imagine that's what it's like with every celebrity. Even the down-to-earth ones, you're dealing with an image. I mean, even with people in your day-to-day life, you're kind of dealing with an image that they're projecting to a degree. The other thing is, a lot of celebrities are performers, so they have a finely crafted character that they're putting forward. Not saying that it's inauthentic, but it's a character that they perform. This is why it can throw us off when celebrities take the Myers-Briggs test and then you're like, whoa, what the heck? Like with Stephen Colbert, a lot of people who were typing celebrities would have called him like an ENTP or something. Then he takes the test on his show, administered by an official Myers-Briggs, apostle, and he gets INFP. Would you have ever guessed INFP for Stephen Colbert? INFP is not the first thing you think of. Stephen Colbert really exemplifies, though, someone who has a really well-defined character. His thing is to play a character. I mean, it was much more so when he had the Colbert Report. But even now, he's kind of a character. He's kind of not really himself on the show. I guess when you think about it, though, now on the Late Show, is that what he's on? He does kind of get angry. Like, he works himself up, and that's kind of an FI thing, isn't it? The other thing, though, is that when these celebrities take the test, they know they're doing it for an audience, and that could influence how they answer it, you know? It's a big thing on YouTube over the past couple years for all the big YouTubers to take the Myers-Briggs test. So they all do the Myers-Briggs episode, and some of them seem like they might be wrong. Now they might be right, I don't know, but when you're taking the Myers-Briggs test and you're answering all these questions and knowing that millions of people are gonna watch, maybe you don't consciously alter your answers, but subconsciously you probably want to present yourself in a certain way and answer accordingly. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that I think is difficult when it comes to typing celebrities is that they are in a circumstance and a set of circumstances that we have not really experienced. They're famous. They they have a lot of notoriety and probably also a lot of money. They're being put in situations that we can't understand unless some of you watching are famous, in which case please consider supporting this channel with a large donation. Speaking of supporting this channel, why don't we stop for a quick and perhaps enlightening and elucidating commercial break. Thanks so much for sitting through that commercial. I thought of this especially when it came to typing John Lennon in that video a few days ago that I made, because there was that whole thing of John Lennon might be an INFP, but INFPs typically, stereotypically, aren't big jerks like John Lennon seemed to have been on occasion. But then a lot of people came into the comments and were like, actually John was a very kind and caring person, but he had a messed up childhood, and, you know, that affects a person. But the other thing that can affect a person is being the most famous person in the world at the age of 23. That's something that we can't relate to. Now, I don't think fame and money really change people that much, but it's definitely a set of circumstances that I haven't experienced, most of you probably haven't experienced, and it can do something. It can make people act in weird ways probably that might throw us off of what their personality actually is. The other thing is, when someone is a celebrity, you get all these different accounts of what they're like. You hear people say they're really great and other people who say they're big jerks. But when you are a celebrity, you have all these people coming at you, you know? Everyone wants something from you. And so you kind of have to have your guard up. You can't be nice to everyone if you're a big celebrity. I mean, you can try to, but then there are always going to be people who take advantage of that. Okay, so that's why it's difficult to type celebrities and why it's full of pitfalls and everyone's guessing all these different types and it seems like a big cluster bomb. But why do we keep doing it? Why do we keep doing it? Why do we care? The reason that we care about typing celebrities isn't so much that we want to know all about the celebrity, it's because we want to see an illustration of what these different types might look like. And so we see a handful of people who supposedly have this type, and we can kind of figure out, oh, I see the similarities. I see the pattern here of what this type is like, because everyone knows the celebrities, or most people know the celebrities. I mean, we could illustrate types with like your coworker Bob, but not everyone knows Bob, you see? So it doesn't help me to know that Bob is an INTP. I don't care. But if it's Bob Saget, yeah, I care a lot. That was the first Bob that popped into my mind. Knowing celebrity types, or at least knowing what they might be, they can serve as role models. And not in a way like, I want to be rich and famous like this person, but role models. If you see someone who's successful, who is your type, you might be able to see how they have improved themselves and overcome the pitfalls of your particular type, which is usually wrapped up in your inferior function. They can also be like reverse role models, where you see how they were plagued by their demon function and let it ruin their lives. Take a warning. You gotta be careful though. Don't just assume that someone is the type just because you saw it on 16 Personalities. What really gets me though is when you see the celebrities they pick. It bothers me when it's like 4 actors and then some random like inventor or something. It's like, what? Be consistent, or at least take one from every field of life. Something about the way that that is organized doesn't sit well with my brain. So that's why we like what was happening with my face there? So that's why we like to type celebrities, how it can maybe help us, but why it might be a fruitless endeavor. Don't even try. Stop. Just stop right now. Thanks so much for watching and for subscribing. This channel just hit 20,000 subscribers and I am blown away. I can't believe that the channel, my channel, is at 20,000 subscribers. That is more people than attends a Miami Marlins game regularly. That is incredible. And also in my last video about not letting people see your whole self, keeping part of yourself hidden so people don't see all of you. Man, there was a big response to that. I hit something there. I hit a nerve. There were like 500 comments, and I've read them all, and I'm sorry that I haven't been able to reply, but sometimes when the comments are so well thought out and personal, for me to try to respond to them all would be a fool's errand. Even if you don't see me reply or give a favorite with the heart, I've read it and I appreciate it, and your words have gone into my brain. Yeah. Thank you so much. You all take care. I'll see you again real soon. Stay cool and attractive.